I'm a children from Roma Kids who been in Roma Kids since 9 years old. I grow up in the homes. They provide me with a home that I can stay, a school that can I go, and then with other children that I can mix around with. I origin from a broken family background, which my family had divorced. So I and my mother have to take care of me and my siblings, and then her grandmothers as well. So uh, the family has been have a lot of problems. So my mom decided to, and then that time I attend a Sunday school in one children church. So the pastor Mary, Pastor Mary recommend me to go to the Roma Kids. So I went there. Um, so right now I finished my Form 5 and I study in Sunway University. I finished my diploma. I study diploma in information technology, and then now I'm doing my final year for degree in computer science. So so I'm happy that what the home has been supporting me, and all the uncle, aunties, and all the pastors and all the elders have been helping us. Um, Thank you very much. So here I am today. So I will be contribute to the society in the future. Thank you.
The Lord led me to Isaiah 58, where He said, true prayer and true fasting is to forget about yourself and to go out and to feed the hungry. He said, when you see the hungry, feed him. When you see the naked, clothe him. When you see the homeless, bring him to the pastor's house. He didn't say that. He said, take it to your house. Unless you walk with God, unless you are touched by God, you will have no concern for your neighbor. And so it started. After the prayer, I was in Panamaran, and one day as I came back to the home, there was a man lying in the street. He's about to die. And he grabbed my feet as I was on the motorbike, and he said, I am going to die. I have no family. Will you promise to bury me? So if I said no, he wouldn't let my leg go. So I took him in, I looked after him, bathed him, fed him, took him to the hospital, had his cataract removed, had his leg operated on. So the man did not die, he lived. That was the starting of Grace Home. So on the 31st of August 1980, officially we booked a place, had it registered, and we started Grace Home for the Destitute. To date, we have looked after more than 1,500 women who come, live there until most of them die there. The qualification to enter that home is you have to be destitute, disowned by your family, thrown in the street. So it is totally a free home. It is run by faith. The mother's womb, which is said to be the safest place for babies, today is the most dangerous place as they are killing their offspring. And so we started a home, and we have rescued more than 100 babies from being aborted, and we have rehabilitated these women. So this is again all an act of faith, and God just keeps adding and adding. Now we are so grateful that we can have this place of our own, in partnership with TA, and to gather food, distribute food. If you go to the first floor, it is one whole side is supposed to be for a clinic, but we do not have any equipment yet, and we are believing God will supply one by one, and we'll have a full, complete clinic like we have in KL. After we started it, Glen Eagle saw what we are doing, and they contributed $80,000 worth of equipment that we can even do minor surgery free for the people living in the streets. And so we thank God for that opportunity. So God bless you for partnering with us. And may the Lord honor you for that.
I count it as a privilege to be able to partner with Grace Community Services to run such meaningful community work, do such meaningful work, because they have proven themselves, through so many years of good work they have done for the community. Even government ministry also recognize that they are doing excellent work. I'm very confident, because I've seen their work. They are not just overnight, they have been in this community care for more than 30 years. The staff, I'm sure, they're not doing just a work, just like we will go to work and earn a salary and come back. They do it because they love the people that they are working with. They care for them, That's the difference, I can see. Even my staff who go and visit these homes can tell me the difference. Say certain homes or certain organization or charitable organization, the people there, they're just doing is part of the job. But I can see certain homes and certain organizations is different because the staff members really care and love the people that they work with. I just also want my staff, to also catch on and have this caring attitude, that they will come to these homes and this, as I said, the Rumah Kids or whatever it is, that interest them to interact with the people, to show that we care. We are so privileged, We have a home, we have our loved one with us, we have food on our table, roof over our head, and work to do, job, There's so many would love to be in your position, but they can't because they're not given the opportunity. And I pray that more organizations will emulate, they will do more so that we're really able to eradicate poverty on this land.
I met Henry for the first time, I think probably a year and a half ago. I was invited by two very inspired pastors. They were doing a lot of work for Orang Asli people. So I was invited. I was really honored because we had lots of Orang Asli people who are really poor and they're reaching out to them. For those who don't know who I am, I come from a very small tribe in Sarawak. We are actually Orang Asli. My tribe is only 5,000 people in the whole world. Small enough to all fit into a zoo. And so I remember when I was a kid, we don't have enough food to eat. Actually, I understand the problem of the destitute and the poor. I remember my primary one. In my primary one, my primary school, we were studying on an atap roof class. The floor was mud floor, I remember it well. And we sat in a place where we were writing on, no books, no papers were given at the time, blackboard slabs. And each of us were given half a chalk. So you do 1 + 1 on the floor first until the answer is right. Then you write it on the little slab. Because otherwise you run out of chalk. And so when I was a kid, I used to get to the nearest town was Marudi. It took about 2 weeks to walk to the nearest town. 1 week by boat and 1 week by river. So I understand the needs of the poor people. I completely understand it. I came out from poverty actually simply through education. I went to school and it was education that made the difference. I accepted Christ in 1973 when I was 15 years old. Actually, I was there in the Barrio Revival. A lot of people were touched by that revival, and I became a Christian in 1973 at the part of the Barrio Revival. And that's how I met at the time already when I first met Reverend Dr. Henry, and I was really inspired by the work. I asked him about what they were doing, and latterly, I've been following you actually. You didn't know that I had done my research and found out what you guys have been doing without him knowing. He told me another story. He's trying to do something about soccer, and because he put the word Brazil, I got excited. So I found out that doing a lot of work since 1980. They actually began here in Klang, and they have, as far as I know, about 6,000 packets of food that they grant every single day to people that are destitute and that need food. And a lot of the Grace community services that are extending around, they extend their food to 40 different distribution centers. And the work that they're doing on counseling and needing out and helping others is really marvelous. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Fantastic. And T.A., I really like your speech today. It's fantastic that you folks in your company really think about the poor and the needy and think about that idea that putting the boutique hotel is a fantastic idea. I'm going to tell that story to others so that other people can do that. But not just bring boutique hotel and other businesses so that all profits can go to the poor. No, I think fantastic. If more companies are socially responsible and really do think about the poor and those that need it, I think this country will be blessed. Pastor Henry, I know exactly the difficulties you have in what we're doing, because every Tuesday outside in KL, we also have this program. We reach out to them. There's a little tent like this, and then we give them packet food, and we give them jobs. The last time I went there every Tuesday, about 5:30 Tuesday night, we got doctors to give them medicine, etc., and we give them packed foods like this. But usually giving them jobs. The last time I went there, Ajinomoto gave jobs to quite a number of them. Quite a number of them don't want the jobs. So when we start to talk to them, why is it you don't want the jobs? They said, there is no accommodation. But Ajinomoto said, if you come to the Kilang, we got accommodation. We got boarding. Then they said, no transport. Never mind, we got bus to bring you there. And so everything is given, food provided, and actually the salary is 700 per month. That's not bad, actually, for those people without jobs. Very difficult to get them. Our hit rate, every night when we do this, we are lucky to have 3 of them getting the jobs. Lucky, yeah? If we are lucky to take 3. I remember that day when I was there, 10 of them took the job for the last month to Ajinomoto. After 1 week in the job, all of them left their job, and then having stolen the mobile phone of their colleagues. So I returned back to the point. Why? This is the point about hope. Because if you just give them food and you don't grant them the hope, then it doesn't work. So a lot of what we've done in this work, we have Azam Kerja, then we have Azam Niaga, those people who want to do small businesses, Azam Hidmat for tourism, etc. So 100,000 families we are putting through the program today across. Now I return back to what you're doing here. The one thing I recognize, a lot of the NGOs, when you do it, like the Christian groups are doing it, the Muslim groups are doing it too, the Buddhists are doing it, because you bring in an element about the spiritual aspect, the hope that comes into the person. Because, you know, if there is no hope that the person have about themselves, they choose poverty like a lifestyle. Actually, the people in the street that I talked to when we were there, they actually chose that as a lifestyle. They don't see anything wrong with lying there and not taking the job. It's okay for them. And so what we really need is really now encouraging much more many of the religious groups, the Christian groups, the Buddhist groups, the Hindus, etc., and the Muslim groups. So I think bring the hope and the confidence in these people. I'm a Christian myself, and I really think, you know, we should preach the gospel and to many of these people so that they become saved too. Because I do believe that if you don't attend to the spiritual needs of these people, you find it very difficult for them to move to the next step. I hear the testimonies of those 2 friends early on. The gentleman was so excited about how he got out from drugs. I can tell you, if you really drive deep into what has happened to him, the positive attitude and the hope was the thing that came out from it. Because he came here to Grace, and then the people loved and cared for him. And I do believe that when people feel loved and they're cared for, then they begin to see there is hope for living. Then they will stand beyond that hope. Then they will find ways and means to earn a living, and I think that the rest will show. So I think we will now want to work with the various NGOs, folks like yourself, and perhaps in the course of this year, I would like to run a lab. We get individuals from various organizations that we sit together and do nothing else to brainstorm how do we find a new program for the low-income household that extends beyond just giving food, but that deals with the spiritual aspect, that nurturing that aspect. I think it's important for us to do that. And I think if we do that, then I think we can progress to the next level. For all of you, for 20 years that Grace has been involved, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I tell you, many people do. Many organizations are doing this. And as far as I'm concerned, when I look at organizations that are doing this, many of these people will be blessed by God in many, many different ways for the things you're doing and how you impact the lives of others. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Just